Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shanna Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your real estate transactions. If you've got a question about real estate, give us a call, 281-882-8088, and we'll be happy to answer your real estate questions every Sunday between 11 and noon. This Sunday, we are actually broadcasting from the Northwest Houston Nutcracker Market. This Nutcracker Market is a little different because we are raising funds. We're raising money for the students in Klein ISD to have coats. So if you bring coats, if you got coats, bring them. Coats are something that a lot of these students, underprivileged students, don't have. And so Leanne Donaldson puts this together, and she is bringing in as many coats as she can to give to the students in Klein ISD. So it's really a great cause. Lots of shopping out here. I can't wait to finish the broadcast so I can go do a little bit of shopping. And it just really gets you in the mood for the holidays, which is really fantastic. And these are all local businesses, and that's what I love. Next, I'm talking with another local business owner. Matt is here. And, you know, I love local businesses. I love small businesses. And so it's really fun to be around all these local business owners selling their products because they can sell them better than anybody else. Right, Matt?
We try.
All right. Matt has a local company. It is Matt's Door Refinishing. And he actually refinished my door, about 2 months ago?
That's correct.
Did a fantastic job. You know, as I sell real estate, one of the main things when people drive up to a house is the curb appeal. We've all heard that term, curb appeal, curb
Absolutely.
appeal. And the front door is a huge part of that.
And it's overlooked most of the time. You know, most homeowners use the back door or the garage door. Mm-hmm. So, you know, over time, you know, the finish on a stain and finish wooden door does deteriorate.
Yeah, the sun does a lot of damage to it.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So tell me, you know, you mostly work in this area of town, Northwest Houston,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So how long does it take you on average to refinish somebody's door?
A single or a double door takes one full day. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. You'll be able to actually shut your door at 8 p.m. that night, but the service usually wraps up around 4 or 5 p.m.
And then it's just letting it dry.
Correct, yes.
Well, I love the way you refinish my door. My front door, I don't know why, it started peeling. And, you know, if you've got a front door that's peeling, it's really frustrating because every time you go put your key in, you're looking at it going, oh, I got to get that fixed. And you never know who to call. You know, you don't know who to call. So give us your website so they can find you.
It's www.saveyourdoorllc.com.
I love that website. Just save your door. Just save it. Because if you maintain it and take care of it, it will last longer.
Correct.
It will last longer.
And, you know, the best way, you know, after a refinish once or twice a year, just depending on how much sun, a single coat of finish will extend the life of the finish on there for years.
So most people stay in their front door, but every once in a while you find somebody who wants to paint it.
Yes.
What do you think about that? Don't recommend it?
You know, it's all in the eye of the beholder. You know, if they want to paint it, go ahead and paint it. I actually do that now as well.
Okay.
But I like to stain and finish so that you can see a nice, beautiful door with the grain, and it really helps the curb appeal, as you said, with the front of the house. You know, realtors when they're opening the front door, the possible homeowner standing there looking at the door.
That's what they're staring at.
So it makes a big difference if you're selling or buying a home.
Absolutely, yeah. So if someone is selling their home, they need to call you, about 6 weeks before they put it on the market?
I would recommend it around that time.
Okay.
That way, you know, if scheduling-wise, things like that, I do operate 7 days a week. But, you know, you want to get everything taken care of before that initial market setup, I guess.
Yeah.
And that, you know, will help. You know, it's one less thing you have to worry about.
Well, what kind of pricing is it to have one door refinished?
For the exterior side, for a single door, it is $300 even.
Okay.
There are no taxes with this service since it's not a repair.
Right.
You can't tax it in the state of Texas. So, you know, there's some savings there. But for double doors, there's a discount. It's $550 for a double door. And, you know, it's a one-day service.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is using the marine spar varnish that I use. You know, your door is exposed to the same elements as a boat. Why not use the same finish?
Well, and I know when we talked on the phone and I scheduled my appointment with you, I said, you know, you said, do you want to refinish the inside and out? And I was like, yeah, I want to do the whole thing. I want to look good, right? And you got there and you texted me and said, I'm only doing one side. You only need the outside done. Right. And I guess for me as a homeowner, I felt like for the door to look good inside and out, you needed to stain the whole thing the same color. But you were able to just stain the outside only, which
Correct.
saved me money. and it looks fantastic.
Yeah, and the insides of doors, unless you have a dog or cat that's scratched at it or kids, they're always going to stay in great shape because they're not affected by the elements.
Right.
So I prefer to only refinish the outside because the inside generally doesn't need it.
Yeah, see, I love that about you because I was like, he could have totally done the inside and out and charged me for that, and he totally didn't.
Yeah,
And so I'm
all about saving money for people, not taking it from them.
And I love your military discount. Tell me about that.
It's a great service. I stand behind my troops, and it's a $50 discount, whether it's a double, single, anything bigger than that. But it's not just for the immediate family. It's for mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, anybody that is affected by the military. It is a discount for them, and I really support my troops. I have a lot of friends that are in the military as we speak, so it's just something I like to do to give back.
And we're coming up on Veterans Day soon.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think it's great to support the troops. So when you're looking at buying a front door versus refinishing the one you have, how do you know whether it's time to buy another one or whether you can get away with refinishing it?
And it depends. If you have wood rot where the bottom of the door is squishy or spongy, you can actually stick a knife into it or anything like that. It's time to replace it.
Okay.
But 90% of the time, you don't have that situation unless there's been water absorbed by the door for a year or two.
Yeah.
You see the finish peeling, flaking off the door, and that's just time for a refinish. There's no real need to replace the door when you can save that door by doing the refinishing process.
How often does a front door need to be replaced, or does it just depend on how much sun it gets? I mean, there's just a lot of things that go into play.
Sun, water are the 1 and 2 culprits for damage on a door. More sun exposure, the more maintenance it's going to need. And with a single coat of finish, after a refinish or even after a year of buying a brand new door, it extends the life of that finish for the door.
So you really need to make sure that your front porch is wide enough.
Correct.
Where the driving rain is not going to hit your front door.
That's correct.
So that's important, buyers.
Yeah.
Buyers need to think about that.
the best tip I could give today is a rag with just water, wring it out, wipe it down. That is the best cleaning technique for any stain and finish wooden door.
Just wipe it with water.
Yes.
How often?
Once a month, or any kind of driving rain will. I would recommend to wipe it down. But things like indust, oil, pledge, waxes, they all damage the finish of a door.
Don't use those.
And when the sun hits it, you have that chemical reaction, and it's very difficult to actually make it good as new again.
Does the pricing matter if the hole inside the door has glass in it versus being a solid door? Is the price the same?
It's all the same.
Okay.
There's standard pricings because with a solid wood door with no glass, there's more chemical stripper. But if you have a glass service or a glass door, there's more preparation involved to protect that glass, protect the frame.
Okay.
So it's all standard pricing.
Some people have the lead glass in their front door, and it gets cracked.
Yes.
Are you able to replace any of that?
I am not. I leave that to professionals.
Okay.
I use Freebird Glass. They are pros.
They can just come out
and they do it on
take
site.
it out.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Very good. All right, because a lot of people see that cracked glass in the front door, and they think they need a whole new front door because of it.
And I would actually recommend to get that fixed before I even touch the wood, because with leaded inserts you have structural pieces there, and without knowing exactly which one, you can make more damage than good. So
okay, well, for those people that are listening that need to have their front door refinished, tell us again how they can get in touch with you.
Match Door Refinishing, 281-627-9302, and SaveYourDoorLLC.com.
All right, appreciate you coming on the show, giving us lots of tips for saving our front door. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. If you missed any of today's show, you can go to HoustonRealEstateRadio.com and catch up with us. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call, 281-882-8088, and we'll be happy to answer your questions right here on the air every Sunday between 11 and noon, 281-882-8088. If you're following us on Twitter, you can tweet us your questions too using hashtag HRER. We are live broadcasting from the Northwest Houston Nutcracker Market, having lots of fun. Make sure you go online and get tickets for next year's. This is the first annual, but next year will be the second annual, and you can come down here and have lots of fun. If you're on the north side of town, this is your Nutcracker Market. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. We'll be right back. you.